Hello guys, Zueljin here, and welcome back to another episode of that ModSauce, baby. Check it out! It's like Blood Samurai armor. I freaking love it. The updates have been installed to Blood Magic. A whole slew of things have changed for it. We've got a ton of other rituals to explore. And guys, best part of all about this update, besides the cool samurai armor that I got on and the new Blood Magic stuff, is Ars Magica has been added to the pack. So we're gonna leave Galactic Craft alone until we can get DMAC involved and go back doing some planet exploration again. But today I want to show you a couple new things. First off is going to be the ritual and how they've changed a little bit. So let me go ahead and activate this. This is a ritual of binding. I just want to replace the axe that I lost a while back. Check this out. Isn't that wicked? Now notice my particle effects aren't on, so I don't have any potion effects showing. You would see, look at on the left, you'd see whirlwind, night vision, haste. You'd see all kind of bubbles coming up from me, so I have those off, so you can still see the animations, which to me was the coolest thing about Blood Magic, being able to see the different particle effects. But it was really aggravating when you had the potion effects on you. So anyway, we got these great new animations, and you can see it shows you kind of what it takes. It either takes a sword, a shovel, or a pick. So that's really cool. So let me go ahead and drop my axe on this, and we should, if I can place it in the right position actually, and we should just get the bound axe again. Sweet. And what I need to do with the bound axe, I know it's really loud, I'm trying to find some witchwood trees, which we're going to need for the for Ars Magica. So let's see, bound axe, and as you can see, the ritual effect went away. Really cool. Let me go ahead and bind this to myself, and yep, now we're good. So we can go and do all the cool things that that the axe can get for us now. So the witchwood trees spawn pretty sporadically, and I'm gonna have to go really far out to find those and some of the essence, the Ars Magica essence that we need, the essence pools. So I think the easiest thing for me to do is going to be to grab maybe some tanks and buckets. Now I know we have a, let's see, what kind of tanks do we have in the system? I know we have some of the open blocks tanks. That's probably gonna be one of the things that I can grab. So let's make a couple more of those. Open block. How about if I just put tank. What are they called? TANK. Yeah. It should just come up. So why are just these tanks? Oh, you know what? I might have my subset set. Yes. There we go. Okay, so subsets are going to be set now. Tank. There we go. Nice. Okay, so tanks from open blocks. All we need is obsidian and glass panes. We should be able to make some of those. I will bring 5 just in case. Now, I'm also going to need a bucket. And I'll get a few buckets. The 16 buckets should do. And everything else I should just be able to put into the system. As far as like all the witchwood saplings and stuff. Okay, so I got that, I got the stuff to send back through the ender pouch. What I need to do now is find a biome, and we're gonna have to travel pretty far to get that. I think the best way is gonna be for the nether, so I'm gonna head through the nether, travel a good distance out, you guys, and I'll show you guys where I'll pop up. Be right back. This is what you look for. This is a witchwood forest biome. If I hit F3, you'll see, and this place has bunches of witchwood and also these really cool grass blocks and stuff, the way they look. But this is This is the graphic changed a little bit since the last one, but this is the stuff you need. This is one of the components that you need, and it only spawns around witchwood. So when you grow a witchwood, it has the chance to spawn, and then after that it won't. I don't think they regrow unless they've changed that in the new mechanics. But from the I'm just going off of the old information that I have, or my personal experience in the older mod, because I used to have to farm this stuff all the time. But in this biome, you'll also see a bunch of this new stuff, like all of the liquid. Where is the essence pool that I just saw? there was a huge one, and I'm still gonna call it Essence a little while, so y'all just bear with me. But yeah, the liquid Ethereum. So you'll see plenty of that stuff in these biomes too, and that's what you want to grab. You want to be able to grab all of this stuff to where you can actually use it as spell components when you start building all of your Ars Magica spells. Alright guys, for the last stop before the trip home, there's a few ores that I wanted to show you for Ars Magica 2 as well. See this stuff right here? This is Shimmerite or Chimerite, however you want to pronounce it. You're going to need some of this stuff as well. There's also a few things like Sunstone and Blue Topaz, and something that I'm noticing lately too, which is kind of weird, is this stuff right here. Now, I've seen this in the ore dictionary before, shiny ore, and it's used in thermal foundation to make, well, you need shiny dust to do all of the Enderium stuff. So that's kind of wild that that stuff is just starting to spawn now. I also saw bauxite from Mariculture, which I've never seen before. So there's quite a few things that have been added lately, maybe quite a few updates to all of the mods, but still going through and harvesting a little bit more stuff. One of the last things you're going to need is Ventium as well, and Ventium is used in a slew of applications, along with a bunch of the plants that I've already shown you, like the Desert Novas and the Alm and all of that stuff. But hopefully I'll be able to give you guys a little summarization soon, and we'll get back to the practical aspects of what it is, the reasons that I'm gathering all this stuff. So stay tuned and we'll be right back. Alright you guys, so I am back from my little trip and I've got all kind of goodies to show you. The first thing that I want to do is start Ars Magica 2 with a tome. Now, to do this you need to make a book and kind of get your idea for recipes and how you construct things. Basically you can start with an item frame. If I can get this thing off the wall now. There we go. You place an item frame, and near there you place a little puddle. And what you want to do with that puddle is to place this this fluid essence or whatever in there. And when you place a book into the item frame, it's going to absorb the magic from nearby essence pools. Alright, there we go you guys. So it turns into the book. You can take it out of the item frame after that, and it's the Ars Arcane Compendium. So very, very cool. When you open the Arcane Compendium, you have a forward using the Compendium, Ars Magica UI, your first spell, and a few recommended spells. So using the Ars Magica Compendium is set up to unlock entries as you get them, to somewhat guide you through the getting started process of the mod. You'll be notified when you can unlock a new entry. So very, very cool stuff. As we go in through here, you can see there's a few things. I've already kind of told you what the kind of things that you can do as far as the stuff that you can get. But what we need to do is make an Oculus. That's the first thing we need to do. So to make a spell, you will first need to create an Oculus and unlock at least one spell shape and one component. You start with 3 blue skill points and make this possible. Then craft a writable book and head over to your inscription table. Place the book in the inscription table, and there are 3 sections of the inscription table. So it kind of tells you a few things that you need to do in order to get this thing. But what we need to do first is make that Oculus, just like they said. So OCC, and there you go, it comes up, and the crafting recipe is some chiseled stone or cracked stone or stone bricks. You need blue topaz, some coal, and some glass. Now, the blue topaz is a new ore that you can mine, and we happen to have some of that. So let's go ahead and grab some topaz, and we can just break that up, just like regular ore. So let's go ahead and put some of that down, and we'll break it without silk touch. And there's the blue topaz. Very good. So we'll put that in the system, and we'll make our Oculus. So shift click the recipe in, and the Oculus is made. We'll go ahead and place this down, and it should give us some, I don't know where I want to place this down yet. Let me place it right here for now. There we go. And there we go. Achievement, new entry unlocked. So this is kind of, you'll recognize this kind of like, oh, what do you call that? The other magic mod with the all the Thaumcraft. That's what I'm trying to think of. But anyway, so projectile, not learned yet. They have 3 different trees. They have offense, defense, and utility. As you can see, there's self, which is these are called spell shapes. So for instance, the offense comes with projectile. Now it's not necessarily going to be offensive because you have to build your spells one component at a time. But defense is not necessarily going to be that either. Like if you can make a spell that lights yourself on fire if you really wanted to. So it's just kind of the way that they're I guess separated or organized. And there's also utility. So this is touch, and you can use this like to hit something with your fist. So if I would put a fire projectile, let's see if I can show you. Yeah, fire damage. Okay, so let's say if I put fire damage on a projectile, naturally it would shoot a projectile, that would do fire damage. If I did self fire, it would probably either light myself on fire or do fire damage to me. I think it wouldn't light myself on fire. I think that's another component. And there's also utility, so touch. So if I put touch in fire damage, if I punch something, it would do fire damage with that. So kind of cool. What I want to do is I want to go ahead and learn self, and this is a way to grind a little bit of mana, because as soon as I learn this, now my spell shape is done. Now I can put leap, regeneration. I can make a self regeneration spell that will just regen as I go. Really, really cool, to where you can do some cool things with blood magic early on, which is another great reason that this mod is going to be so useful. But you can add regen, you can add self, and as you can see, there's certain things like to shrink yourself and all that other stuff. Slow fall, summon. As you can see, these are blue, but when I go down here, you see red and green. There are different kinds of orbs. Now, you get skill points as you level up in Ars Magica, but you can also find them in dungeons, and I found one already. It's actually an infinity orb, they call it. So when you find an infinity orb, you can right-click it, and you can use it. And basically, when you get it, you just look in, and you have, if you look in your Oculus, you'll have extra points. So now I have 3 again, which is pretty cool. So we're also going to learn projectile, I think, and I think I want to learn self-light. I believe that's the easiest way to get some mana right quick. So let's see, if I do, where is light? I need to learn self-light. There it is, light. So it's a couple down. So I'll do touch, which we need to learn, and well, dig is next, but I don't want a dig spell. I want light, so I'm gonna need 1 more blue point. I think I'm gonna need a level up. In order to do that pretty easy, let me go ahead and learn regeneration. That way, now if I'll be able to make a self regeneration spell and level up a little bit, and then I'll be able to do light and really grind this out. So the next thing we need to do to build spell components is we need to set up an inscription table, I believe they call it. So if we just look up table in NEI, if it ever loads, there we go, table. And let's see, that's a peaceful table. Maybe inscription would be easier to look for. INSC, there we go, inscription table, Ars Magica 2. So to do this, you need spell parchment, some wood slabs, some wood, a feather, and a torch. Spell parchment is 2 sticks and paper. Really easy to do. So let's go ahead and make that right quick. Spell parchments, we'll go ahead and make plenty of those. Oh, it looks like I'm out of paper. That's not even a problem. I can go ahead and make tons of this stuff. Oh, I always forget which order it goes in. Okay, let's put some paper in the system. Now that we got paper in the system, we can make much more of these spell parchments, because we'll need plenty of these. So let's just make a stack of those. Cool, made a stack of those. Now we can do the table, and we'll need 2 of these actually. So we'll make, I think maybe it's just 1. I don't know. Okay, so let's try to place it. There we go. So there's the table. Now, naturally, this isn't going to be the place that we do it. We'll have to move it again, but this is basically the setup. So now that you have this, you can select spells that you build. So let's do self and regeneration. We'll be able to name that spell and put a book in it. So let's make a book in Quill. Book. Do we have a book in Quill? No. So let's do feather and ink. We might as well do a few of these as well. Let's go ahead and make, oh, it looks like I need to make more books too. Oh, what am I doing? Book. Boom, perfect. Actually, no. I'm out of books, so I need to make books. Books. Book and quill, book. Let's just make them out of there. That'll be easy. Okay, 36 of them. Now we can make some books and quills relatively easy. Let's go ahead and make, I don't know, I'll set 5 or 6 of them just so I can have access to them when I need them. Okay, so we got the book and quill. That's cool. Let's go ahead and put it in the table, and we'll put it right there. And now we can name this self regen. Okay, we'll select self and drag it into the slot down here. Okay, it says at least one component is needed. I'm sorry, the NEI shows. Let me go ahead and at least one component is needed. Okay, so now if we go regeneration, do we have to drag it in the same thing? All right, it's actually this bottom slot that you put here. So self and regeneration. So these are, I guess, the projectiles or whatever they're called, and these are the effects that you get. So anyway, now it says removing the book will finalize the spell recipe. We go ahead and take that out, and it says self regen. Okay, cool. So now that we have self regen, we need to figure out how to actually put this spell together, and to do that we're going to need to make an altar. So let's go ahead and resort to the compendium, and it'll see a few recommended spells, obtaining skill points, spell components. If we look under, let's see, shapes, components, modifiers, structures, that's what we need, a crafting altar. So a crafting altar is made like this. It's a huge multi-block structure that you need a few different things for, and when you start looking through the current layers, it helps you build it one by one. Okay, a few of the different pages down, you'll see that the different types of blocks give it the number of effects you can use. Now, I know this seems kind of complicated, but you're playing a mod pack, so what you want to do is probably put together the most powerful that you can if you have them available. So what we probably want to do is look for, see, sunstone blocks are one of the hardest things, or one of the most powerful things to get. And I haven't seen any moonstone or any sunstone, but you can make them with emerald blocks or gold blocks or blocks of iron. There's a ton of different things. Let's look at, let's see, redstone caps. The maximum number of effects you can currently have on a spell is 13. So I haven't seen any sunstone, I don't think, and I haven't seen any moonstone, but there is emerald blocks, so that would help us to get started at least. So we'll go ahead and do it with emerald blocks as the caps. Now, I think one page back it tells us what type of altar to build it from. So nether quartz is probably one of the strongest ones. Nether bricks, it says, wood planks. I think witchwood, yeah, witchwood has 2 effects, so either nether bricks or nether quartz we can build it out of. So I think nether quartz would probably make a cool altar. So let's grab some of that. Let's see how many we have. Nether, yeah, we should have plenty to make some nether quartz. I am a little short on it actually. Let's see, nether brick, do I have much of that? I do have plenty more than I do quartz, I believe. And it's a little bit less useful. Okay, let's do that actually. I know I'm gonna need some stairs, so I'll do a few nether brick stair blocks, just like that. And I'll grab emerald for the caps. There we go, we have emerald. We can make some blocks out of that. And I think we're gonna need like 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just go with 5 for now. And if we need some more, we'll get back in. So we gotta figure out where I'm gonna build this altar. I guess I need to do a little room for it or something like that. So let me think about where I want this stuff, you guys, and I'll be right back. Alright, you guys, so I think the location I'm gonna use is here. It's kind of parallel to the blood altar in terms of where the village is, and I definitely want to do a temple for this location because Ars Magica is one of my favorite deals, so I'm going to be messing with this for a long time. Not to mention, it probably wouldn't be too hard to get this wirelessly hooked up if I do need input to my ME system from here. So I took the liberty of making a few more things that I know I'm going to need as well. For the multi-block structure itself, including with the nether brick and stuff, I'm going to need a crafting altar, which the recipe for this is pretty easy. Let's look that up. crafting. Crafting. So a crafting altar is, wherever I can find it, there it is. Crafting altar is just Ventium dust and stone. I'm also going to need a lectern, which is relatively easy to make too. It's just half slabs and wood, and an obelisk, and that's to kind of like power the altar when you need essence for a spell, which we'll go into in just a moment. So let's go ahead and open the Arcane Compendium, and we'll step back a couple of bits and look into the crafting altar itself. Wherever it is, there it is, structures, crafting altar. So let's go level by level. So to start with, we'll need I guess this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 5, and in the middle we'll need whatever we're going to use as the caps, which we said that we were going to use emerald blocks. So let's do a 5 by 5 area. I guess this is 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Pretty simple. And we'll have to search for some sunstone and moonstone a little bit later on. From what I understand, it's pretty hard to find right now. So we'll do the nether brick, and we'll pop it into these areas here. Everything but the middle, pretty much, the very middle block. And in that middle block, we'll use emerald. Cool, right? Okay, let's take a look at the Arcane Compendium and go with the next level. So the next level is, we'll need a lectern on one side or the other, and these things called magic walls. But magic walls are Ventium, Dusk, and Stone, and you get 2. Now this is a really, really cool block too. Let's go over, because I actually forgot my Ventium dust. Ventium. Okay, now I got some Ventium dust and some stone. And I'll actually just make a little crafting table, I guess, out here, so I don't have to keep going out. Crafting table. We'll do a crafting station. That way it'll be easier to operate. Okay, so crafting station. And inside we'll do the Ventium dust and the stone. Just like this. And this will make magic walls, I believe. There we go. Magic walls. Alright. Yeah, it's a very cool looking block. And let me turn the rain off. By the way, this is what's it called? A city stick. And this is from Practicalities. So all you do is just use this puppy and it turns the rain off. Really, really cool. Okay, so let's look at that recipe one more time. It looks like we had to go with the... Oh, I'm going the wrong one. Okay, next one is... It's going to be 2 and magic walls on either side of it. So we can go do that. Alright, so let's do magic wall here. Magic wall here. Was it on the outside like that? Yeah, it was. Okay, and we'll also need some on top of that, I believe. We'll just kind of, instead of taking it so slow, so we'll need 3 all together and then stairs on top of that. That'll be a little bit easier than trying to do this one layer at a time. Alright, stair and stair. Cool. Okay, so right here I know we're going to need blocks on both of these sides. And I think those go up 3 high as well. Yep, 3 high, and then the caps are on top. And the lecterns in front of one and the lever is on the other. So we'll do like this, like that, and on this side we'll do the same thing. And right here we'll need a lever and the lectern. I don't want to take this out because I know I'm gonna need it. Okay, lectern. So lectern right here, we'll do it on this side, and a lever right here. All right, cool. So next step is to go up with the caps, and we got to put stairs around this. So, and we'll have to put, these are regular blocks, I believe, and that's going to be the altar itself. Okay, that looks relatively simple. So let's take the crafting altar in hand, and we're using the emerald blocks as the caps. So we'll put the caps up in all of these areas. Naturally, we're going to change these as well the further along that we get. So we'll do that, and then we'll place the caps, because this isn't the most powerful altar we can make. You got to remember that. So we'll go ahead and place these. Apparently we got some sort of achievement yet. And there we go. I think that's the entirety of the structure, you guys. Let's see. It should be. So what did the crafting altar... It doesn't say if it's active or not, but I'm pretty sure that this is the entirety of the structure. Let's overlook it one more time. Yeah, that's the extent of it. We got it all put together. Very, very good. Okay, so now that we have this put together, we can take our self-regen book and we can put it on this lectern. I think we can put it on the lectern. So I think I figured out what was wrong. I think I just need to sign the book. So I'll go ahead and sign, call it self-regen. And that should do it. Now I can put it on the lectern. That was so silly of me. I went back and forth trying all kind of stuff. Okay, so I went ahead and took the initiative and got some stuff together that I needed to create the spell, and I'll show you how this goes. So what you need to do, I think, is just toss in a blank rune to get it started. So now it's going to give the next item that it needs. So the book will prompt you pretty much. Now you can right click this book to get the exact list of items, but this isn't necessarily the order, and it's close, but I have seen to where it prompts you for different items that aren't in the numerical order that this is listed here. So we'll go ahead and go with the alm first. So let's throw in the alm. Now it's going to ask for the Ventium dust, which we have one here. Alright, now it's going to ask for the lesser focus, which we made. A lesser focus is pretty easy to make. It's just some gold nuggets and glass. So we'll throw in the lesser focus. And it makes the little noise. Now it's giving this. Now this is a little different. What you need right here is something called a crystal wrench, and to make... Actually, I'm sorry. What you need right here is called an obelisk, and we happen to have one here. This is made from... Let's see, I can show you actually. If I go into the uses right here, or... Wait, let me look it up for you. O-B-E. There we go, obelisk. And that is made from Ventium dust, stone, and chiseled stone. Okay, so the obelisk is going to be placed right here. And I want to say from the obelisk you need to use a crystal wrench on it. So let's see. Crystal wrench. This is it right here. Crystal wrench. And it needs these components, which I have all of that stuff. Let's just go back and get those right quick. And the essence I think you have to put underneath if it still works the same. In the old style it uses something called a nexus, and you had to actually pour the essence in. Which I'm getting some serious chunk loading areas here. Okay, so let's pull in the crystal wrench. We can make that because that's the Desert Nova and the Sarah Blossom, I believe it's called. And we have the Ventium dust right here on us already. So we'll go ahead and put that in. Cool, now we got a crystal wrench. So I don't know how to load the obelisk. Maybe it's the same as it was. Let's go ahead and give me... Wait. I'm lost. There we go. Alright. I don't know why it loads so funky. Alright. So I want to say that the last time I loaded the what do you call it? The nexuses. Sorry. When I loaded the nexuses, this is what I needed to do, and it was to put the liquid essence underneath the nexus. So I'm guessing that the obelisk is the same. So I'm right clicking on the obelisk, and I'm gonna right click on the crafting altar, and the pairing is successful. So it should start using the the liquid essence from this obelisk into the crafting altar, I'm hoping, but it isn't doing that. So let's see. Maybe it has to be 2 underneath. I'm not too sure how this works. How about if I just... I see. So we can just put the bucket right in it. Oh, that's pretty neat. So that's a little bit better than the old school way. A little bit easier to automate this, because now you can probably access it with a grid. So let's see. Can we pair it yet? We'll pair it just like we did before. Right click and right click, pairing successful. And it should draw the required essence that it needs. So if my calculations are correct, we should have enough in there. If I flip this lever, it's going to go ahead and pull the required essence from this to that. Or from this to that, actually. So now, yep, it sure did. So apparently there's still some in here. Either that or that's just a pairing mechanic. That's pretty cool. Okay, so the blue rune it's asking for now. And now it's asking for the golden apple. And now it's asking for the parchment. And there we go. Oh, that's such a neat sound. Okay, so the unnamed spell. So now we have an unnamed spell. And the mana cost is 270, and I can hold left shift to see the affinity details. It says its nature 50%, life 50%, no exchange energy value. So let me go ahead and right click on this. And now you'll see that this menu pops up. Now you can call it whatever you want. If it's named from the book, it's going to be self-regen. And then you pick an icon for it. So this is going to be a very weak spell. We're just going to select this because I think that is a little... That's a good representation of what this is. And this is only a means to an end to get to some better skill levels. So we'll go ahead, and if you go next, there's some more icons that you can choose from between. But we're going to keep this one. If you escape out of this menu, it's going to go ahead and give the spell icon the name. It's going to say self-regen. It's going to give it an item ID and all of that good stuff. So let's right click and see what happens. Okay, so now you can see a few things happen. At the bottom right corner of the screen, you'll see mana 255 out of 500, and it's slowly going back up. And you'll also see that there's a little bar underneath it, and above my experience bar, you'll see a blue 1. So there's a couple things going on here. On the left, you see burnout, and it's a red meter. It's 6 out of 11, and it's going down right now. What happens is when you cast a spell, it gives you some burnout, it consumes some mana, your mana regens slowly over time, and the burnout, the higher the burnout is, the more the spells cost to use consecutively. So if I right click the spell again while I have burnout, it's going to cost more than its original consumption of mana. See if that makes sense. So see how the mana cost is going down? 299, 294, 289, 284. It's going to continue going down as my burnout meter goes all the way down to 0. And now the mana cost will stay the same. When I cast it again, I'll get experience. I'll also use mana, and I'll also gain burnout. That burnout is again reflected on how much the spell costs. See how much the spell costs right now is just at 500 mana. So that's basically what you have to do, but I am level 2 now. As you gain levels, you'll notice a couple things. One, you'll gain more mana passively, and within the first, I believe the first 20 or 30 levels or so, you'll start gaining points. Now, if we look in this section right here, the Oculus, you'll see that I've gotten a blue point, and I didn't use any orbs. So I can select specific spells as I go. So really, really cool stuff. There's a heal spell that we can learn. There's a shrink spell that we can learn. There's a leap spell that we can learn. But I think we're going to go projectile dig. That way we can go to light next. And that's going to be one of the things that I can use over and over and over as a self-light spell. So let's go dig. Now we're going to use this spell a couple more times. And we're going to get some experience. And once we get to level 3, I believe it's every either even or odd level we gain. So I just want to test this theory right quick. I don't have enough mana to use a spell right now. As you can see, if I try to right click, my mana bar turns purple. It's because my burnout's too high and I don't have enough total mana to cast the spell. So back in the day, you used to be able to stand on a nexus and gain mana regen. I don't know if that's still the same now, but we'll have to work out some cool ways to do to get some mana regen online and to also get some experience. And I want to say there's a config that you can run. Let's look at that right now. If I open this, I think the GUI, I think it is, using this compendium. No, it's your first spell. No. There's a GUI that you can do. Obtaining skill points. Yeah, here we are. Levels 2 through 20 award blue skill points. Levels 22 through 40 award green skill points. 42 through 50 red skill points. And additional points can be obtained by fighting bosses, trading with villagers, and exploring. So that's pretty cool. Where is the actual UI? Few, your first spell, using the compendium. There was spell components. Let's see. Oh, and you can respec as well. That's pretty cool. I never knew you can do that. Okay. But there is a UI that you can move the stuff around. Let me fool with this for just a second, guys. All right, so it's actually /AMUICFG. So let's do that right now. /AMUICFG. And if we load that up, it's going to give us the ability to move stuff around. So this is the XP bar. We can move this right above where we want. That'll allow us to see this all the time. There's going to be the level, and that's where the level of your magic. This is the numeric XP value. We can put that right underneath, and we can also put this mana bar anywhere that we'd like to. And this is the burnout bar. Now what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to put these right next to one another so that it's easy to see. Numeric mana value is going to be right underneath that. This is, what is this? This is the affinity UI. I'll go ahead and put that, I guess, right here. And this is the contingency type, which I don't even know what that is. Everything else should be relatively good. This is the positive buffs, and this is the negative buffs. I'll put that next to my other buffs right here because it's important that I see all of that stuff. But I don't want it to be in the way. And if I go to options, it'll show mana burnout bars. Yes, always visible, no or yes. If I put yes here and I'll pull out, you'll be able to see that my bars will always show as long as I have my spell loaded, just like this. So you'll see my XP bar. If I right click again, it goes up to 3, and let's check our Oculus, and you can see I did not gain any points. So I guess it's at every even level. It shows that I have a numeric XP value of 6 out of 64. If I right click again, you can't use it, but after my burnout tones down just a little bit, I'll get to a point to where I can use it. Let's see, how much do I actually need? Right now it's 403. I should be able to use it now, and you'll see the amount of experience that I gained visually there. So really cool stuff, guys. I'm gonna play around with some spells. Next time we come back, I'll definitely show you some fun stuff from Ars Magica 2 and a bunch of cool stuff that you can do with the mod. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, this is Zueljin signing off, and we'll see you next time. Bye.